All right, so I wanted to show you another video on how to submit images from your Gizmo to a lab document. So I want to go ahead and share my screen again, and let's see if we can get to our Gizmo. Let me select here. Okay, so this is for the Seasons in 3D lab. We're going to go look at these documents that we have here. So one of the questions was to submit some graphs, and I want to turn the simulation speed up. On most of these gizmos, you have an option for speed to see either fine detail, or if you want to see something a little faster, you can spin it up. All right, so I want to go hit play, and nothing's happening here because this is a day graph. It's too fast to see for the day graph. So I'm going to pause. I'm going to hit it for the year and hit play again and see how fast that's loading up. Now, if I changed my simulation speed to be slower, it would go much slower, and it would be way too slow. So that's not going to work. So I'm going to go ahead and reset that, and I'm going to go back to the description. I'm going to make sure that our Earth axis is here at 23.5, right? That's what our angle is. And where's our latitude? We're somewhere in close to 35. You can type in, but it's going to round out to 35. So let's go ahead and hit play, and then that's kind of what we should be looking at. All right, let's go ahead and go to our graph, and we can see what's happening here. Now this is good. That's kind of what we want to see. That looks something closer to what. Now you can zoom out of your graph. Notice that as you zoom out, it's still an accurate graph, but it's just harder to see any changes here. So you can zoom back in, and you can adjust your scale here to be higher or lower, so if that's easier to see or not. On this one here, you can zoom in even further for the days, and then grab that, bring it down, and you can kind of see a little bit more information. All right, so notice that it's not a exactly perfectly smooth scale. We've got a little bit of wobble within our axle, but it's on average 23.5, changing a little bit. All right, so we've got this pretty good looking graph here. I want to include that. So let's go ahead and use this button up here, which looks like a camera, and that's a screenshot. I'm going to hit it. And now I've got a picture of the graph, which is great. I'm going to right click that, and I'm going to copy the image. That's copied, so that's good, but I want to put it in a Word document. So we'll go back down in here to Word document, and I'm going to use my Lab 3. And so this is going to be whichever question it is. I'm just going to paste that image there. Well, that's pretty close to what I wanted. It's not exactly, I don't need the hours of daylight. I just wanted the solar gain, the average solar gain throughout the year. So I'm going to crop it, and I'm just going to use this portion of the picture. Click off of it, and that's exactly what I wanted. Okay. So that could be solar gain for Earth axis of 23.5 at latitude 35. Okay, 35 degrees north. I'm fine with just degrees north. All right. So you can go and find the degree symbol in here, but I'm not worried about that. If you that's just acceptable. All right, so we've inserted a question here, or excuse me, a description of what this is for. Right? We'll say it's for question 1. I got that in order now, and we've got the image. Okay, and now you describe it. A smooth curve. Oops. Smooth curve with a peak at June. Right? We know it's at June 21st. Why? Has something to do with our solstice. That is the hottest day of the year, and you can see. Okay, so that would be a good answer for that question if that was the question corresponding to that one. So this isn't exactly correct. I believe it's one of the later questions that we have this. So then if you wanted to go back to our gizmo and X out of this question, or out of that picture, excuse me, we can go back to the description here and adjust our latitude. So if we wanted to go up higher, we can go up further in latitude, like up in Canada area. And then we could go see a graph. But notice it's gone because anytime you change this description, it resets the graph. So you got to play it again. So play that, and it should be working. Oh, we don't see anything. Why not? Oh man, it's just so slow. Oh, it's because we're still zoomed in. So you got to zoom out. Hit that minus button so you can zoom out and see what's going on. And then our y-axis is not right, so we have to adjust that y-axis and find out where it is. Okay, so it's still, oh, same date, just a little bit of a different curve, maybe not as much. All right, this looks a little different. So you can adjust that, and I believe the question is, what happens if we change the Earth axis? It's a great question. So remember that as we adjust this, it's a axial parallelism, so that means it rotates all the way around the Earth at the same axis, and this is going pretty fast. Look at the one on the bottom. That's what really helps. So it's the same plane, and our axis is the same. It stays the same at that same angle all the way around. So if we adjusted it and made it more, this is steeper than what we have. It's 35 in this example. Let's go ahead and look at our graph. Oh, we're seeing something different. So go ahead and do this and describe what's going on. And remember, don't just give me 1 or 2 word answers. Describe it in such that you can be clear that I understand that you know what you're talking about. You won't get docked for too much information. Remember, if you need to take a screenshot, it's these cameras. If you needed to add an arrow to it, you can go and click an arrow and just drag it. Have a look at certain things. If you want to get rid of them, grab the arrows, drop them up to the top. Once you get them, you can adjust them, drag them up to the top when it's got that remove arrow. Okay. We've got a picture. Let's take a picture of this graph. Right. And wow, that looks, the distance from starting line in yards and time in seconds. That is not what I wanted. Let's hit play and see if this graph will create. I'll zoom out, drag this back down. Okay. That looks good. I'll take a picture there. Cool. We've got a picture. I'm just showing you this example. I'm going to right click and copy this image. If you need to add additional information to it, you can go into a PowerPoint and I'm going to paste this as an image. Well, then I can add additional text to it. So I just simply go to insert and add a text box. And then I can say something, if I wanted to say something like highest or lowest point of the year, highest point of the year. Okay, got that there, and I could put that onto this map, or I could leave it over to the side, and then what I would do is insert an arrow. So I go into the shapes, and I can just select this arrow, and then click and drag it to where I want it to be. Now this is not correct, this is just an example. I go in and make this a little bit thicker so it's easier to see, to where it's clear what you're trying to say. So if you were to ask the highest and lowest point of the year and you only included this one, but you had 3 arrows on it, that might be confusing. So I'm not expecting you to be a graphic artist, but I would expect for you to at least demonstrate that you understand the concepts. So we've got this here. We've got, now we have 3 items. We have the image, the arrow that we added, and the text that we added. So you can either drag over all 3 of those, that'd be fine, or you can go up to select, and you can go select all. Now it automatically selects all of those. Right click any of those with them all selected and go down here to save as picture. So we're going to save that as a picture. We're going to do lab 3 example arrow. Give it a name that makes sense to you so you can find it, right? Make it easier on yourself. And then we're going to go back into our Word file and we're going to, well, if you paste that, it's the same one. You want to make sure you include the correct image. So let's go to Insert, Pictures, and find that picture wherever it was. Lab 3 example arrow, there it is. Oh, there's some pictures of me. All right. We added the picture here, and that's exactly how you can do it. So again, you don't have to be perfect with your images that you create. I just expect you to put some effort into it and demonstrate that you understand the concept. So don't make it too complicated, but put some effort in. Be sure and ask questions if you're not sure, and I'll be happy to give you feedback on that. I appreciate the effort so far, and hopefully we can keep moving forward and continue to have a great semester. Thanks very much.